everyone, so welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. My name is Chloe and I am a creator, writer and a musician. Before I get into the video, a few things that I should probably address. Yeah, I am not wearing makeup and I am, yes, in a black top, despite the fact that it does wash me out quite a bit. I don't know, but because I'm doing like a life update type thing today, I just didn't want to go all out with like a full face of makeup. It's just not worth it, and like a colourful top, because I just didn't want to do that. As you can tell by the title of this video and the coffee mug here, I am going to be doing like a coffee talk slash life update kind of thing. And as you can see, yeah, I don't have the mug that I would usually have in my coffee talks, but it's nice to change things up every now and again. It's kind of like the same with, you know, my whole mood today with like the no makeup, the glasses and the black top. I do feel a little run down, but to be honest, like my sleep has been a bit wacky recently, so that's probably why I also feel quite run down. And so the very first thing I do want to talk about is my second channel, because if you didn't know, I do have a second channel. However, it's a channel that I made purely for like music and everything like that. And then in, I think it must have been June, yeah, I decided that I would be, you know, going on an indefinite break. It might have been one of the recent coffee talks that I did, but I kind of talked about it in one of those, and I was kind of like, I'm going to be taking an indefinite break from it. At this point of my life, now that everything is like trying to go back to normal, like the new normal and everything, and I already have like a lot going on, I have decided that I am going to be like closing my music channel permanently. I'm not going to get rid of it, like I'm not going to delete any of the videos. I want them to stay there, and at some point in the future I would, you know, love to do something else with that channel, something music related, like in the far future maybe. I kind of have an idea, but obviously like there is like still a while to go before I do consider going back to it. The reason why I've decided, like the reason why I made this decision is because obviously with everything going on right now, it just didn't and doesn't feel feasible to be managing a second channel as well. I think having two channels is a lot of work, and I've just been like a lot more focused on this channel recently. I would rather pour my heart and soul into one channel than half-heartedly put my energy and time into two different channels. I'd rather have the one channel, put all of my energy and time and everything like that into one channel. Also, another thing is that I know my limits and I don't want to push myself. Like obviously I'm that kind of person that pushes myself quite a lot, but recently, you know, since lockdown and everything, I have definitely, you know, learned my limits, and I have definitely learned not to push myself. And I think that's probably one of the main lessons I've learned during lockdown. If you would like me to do like a video in the future of like me talking about lessons I've learned from lockdown, you know, about myself, about just everything, if you'd like me to do that video, do let me know, because I wouldn't mind. Like I would quite like to do a video like that. With that being said, it kind of sets up an easy transition into the next topic, which is changes to this channel. As you know, ever since lockdown started, I have been uploading like Mondays and Thursdays at 9 AM GMT or BST, you know, during lockdown. However, because, you know, everything is changing, we're all trying to, you know, go back to normal and everything, I have decided that my upload time is going to be changing on Thursday. So Thursdays are my main like upload days. My upload time is going to be changing on Thursdays, instead of 9 AM, it's going to be, you know, 5 PM. GMT, BST, pretty much the same thing, but BST is like just an hour ahead. Or for the moment, BST. So it's going to be changing to 5 PM BST, and over time, that kind of like that may change. Fit with my schedule a lot more, just because I used to upload at 7 PM on Thursdays, so I might go back to that. It honestly just depends on how my schedule is looking for the next few months. My bonus days are also going to be changing, so if I do like upload bonus content, it will be going up on Sundays at the same time, which, you know, also may change, but for the time being it's the same time. And I feel like that just makes it a bit more easier for me to transition into, like, obviously with it being September and a new academic year, I am, fingers crossed, going back to college from Monday the 7th. That is like the new like term date, as in like the new term, the new year. That's when the new academic year starts, the 7th of September. And over the last few weeks, like, I have been, you know, really excited about trying, you know, about getting into like a new routine and everything, to the point where like I've been trying to wake up at 7 AM every morning, which is failing miserably. I've been trying to kind of set myself a new routine, but because I feel like everything is still so up in the air, I just feel like it's just been really hard for me trying to get into that new routine. And I think it's because like I personally think that a lot of my routine is like focuses on, you know, when I sleep and when I eat, and I think that probably goes for everyone. If you're sleeping from, let's say, you know, I'll give my routine at the moment as an example. So I'm usually asleep. I will get to sleep at about 1 in the morning on average, and so I get to sleep between 12 and 2 in the morning, and I will then wake up between 8 and 9, which means I'm having breakfast at around 9:30, having lunch between 1:30 and 2:30, and then having dinner at about 8 or 9 at night, which, you know, the two things do go like hand in hand, like sleeping, like your sleeping pattern and your eating pattern, because you can't like just change one and not expect the other to change as well. And that is definitely something I've learned from trying to change my routine, is that it's going to take a lot more work, and hopefully at some point, you know, I'll get there, but for right now I'm not there. And the actual point I was trying to make with that is because, you know, I'm going back into college soon. I've been trying to get back into a new routine. I have been, you know, excited about the prospect of going back, but then again I've also kind of been quite scared, because obviously there are going to be like a lot of new rules in place, and I know that as soon as like, the first step I take into that college, again on enrollment day, I think it's enrollment day, I don't know, is going to be, you know, hard for me. Like, people, I know for some people it's like easy, it's a piece of cake. I know a lot of people will like find it quite easy to adjust to the new rules and kind of stick to them, but I said in my last coffee talk, I do have Asperger's, which means that I find it very like hard to adjust to new situations, new rules and whatnot. And so I think the thing that I'm kind of scared of the most is not understanding all of the rules enough, and I think I'm just scared I'll make a mistake with one of those rules, like with social distancing, and there's been mentions of like a one-way system around the college. I think it's around the college. Anyway, I have no clue at the moment. No one really does. So I just don't know what to expect. Well, I do know what to expect, but it's you know, it's that fear of making a mistake with one of those rules because like I might not understand it properly. And that's the other thing, like with Asperger's, it does take a bit longer to process information. Like it takes a lot longer than like a stereotypical person, not stereotypical, sorry, than a neurotypical person. And that's just kind of like what I've learned about myself over the years, is that I need time to like process information, take it all in, let it sink in until I, you know, take action on it, because I don't like to take action on, you know, things that I don't know. And I think it's just that, it's the fear of, you know, the fact that I might not understand. I'm basically just, I'm scared about going back to college because of that reason, but, you know, I'm also just really excited to get back into a new routine. I have been looking forward to getting back into it for a few weeks now. I'm also kind of scared that that's gonna get taken away from me. I recently realised that I have been spending a lot of time focused on the wrong thing. Like I've been focused so much on going back to college, that is all I've been thinking about. And you know, I didn't realise that, you know, I should maybe be focused on each day as it comes, and that is now what I'm trying to do, like shifting my focus, so like to try and keep myself in a positive mindset and keep my head straight. Which I guess that kind of brings me onto my next point, which is results. So obviously like A-level results have already come out and are gonna be like, for a lot of people they are like appealing and, you know, want like higher grades, but for me, because I did a vocational course, mine won't change because, wow, I actually got the highest, well, not the highest, but I got one of the highest grades I could get in my music course, and that is a distinction, and I'm really happy with that. I have definitely poured my heart and soul into my music work for the last academic year, and I'm really happy with the result. And it just shows that hard work pays off. And also at some point I would really like to kind of show you all of the work that I did in both my level 2 and level 3 course. Like I would love to show you like all of the work I did, because I feel like, you know, you don't really get to see the behind the scenes in that kind of aspect. And I just feel like maybe you would find that interesting and, you know, want to see like how I managed to get a distinction. You know, I don't think I even really mentioned anywhere about my level 2 grade. I don't know if I ever like mentioned it at all, but I did. I got a merit in my level 2 course, which meant, you know, that I kind of that just meant that I, you know, went straight onto the level 3 course, because like you need a merit in level 2 to get to the level 3 course. And I'm really happy that I got a distinction in this course, because then, you know, it kind of just shows the lecturers on my next course how hardworking I am. I guess, you know, that definitely brings me to my next point. Definitely need to get tested. But like, this cough could be anything. I even told my boyfriend that. What I was saying kind of brings me on to my next point, which is a little bit, you know, deeper than the past things I have been talking about. Not just this past academic year, but like over the years that I have, you know, been in education. I have been in education pretty much my whole life, and I have to admit, maybe I'm a little scared to kind of leave, because it's like education is this shell that's protecting me. That's not the point of what I was trying to say, because, you know, I've been in education for like 15, like my entire life, pretty much 15 years, whatever, because, you know, you start in like when you're 4, but then you got preschool at like the age of 3. So over the years, one of the things like I've noticed is that, you know, both my parents were, you know, hard workers when they were in school. You know, my dad's been in the trade, whatever, you know, the motor trade industry, you know, ever since he was 15 years old. And so because of, you know, my parents' success, I just feel that there is like a lot of pressure, not just on me, I guess my sister too, to like, you know, do a lot of hard work. And there's always going to be that pressure, but there's a lot of pressure there, you know, to get my work done to like a certain standard. And I feel like this has kind of just been me setting the standard over the past few years. And obviously that, yeah, that's the case, but that is just because like I'm trying to live up to those expectations of me to be a good student. So over the years I've set myself this, you know, this high standard that my work has to be at, you know, before I submit it or anything like that. You know, a lot of that does require a lot of hard work and a lot of dedication, and sometimes I feel like we kind of forget about, you know, life around us because we're so focused on getting our work done. You know, my whole family we do a lot. We're doers, and none of us really just let ourselves be. And that also, like, there's just a lot of pressure there to, you know, produce high standard work and, you know, meet expectations that and I haven't necessarily, you know, had that pressure from my parents, but that is the pressure that I have put on myself. And from this whole thing that the thing that I'm trying to like say here is that there is just a lot of pressure I've noticed in the last year to, you know, produce that high standard work and always, you know, work my best. And that can sometimes, you know, get exhausting. If you haven't watched Modern Family, then you won't know what I'm talking about when I, you know, talk about Alex and the fact that she's always, you know, doing something, studying and all of that. In a way, I almost feel like that is me and my sister. So if you have watched like Modern Family, then you'll know what I'm on about. But there's just like a lot of pressure there, and when like the work isn't up to a high standard, it just doesn't, you know, feel good enough. And there is just, you know, a lot of pressure to be perfect and, you know, always, you know, do your best work and have your work to like a really high standard. And I think I could probably say the same for like writing as well. Like I feel really confident like about my writing and about my books, because the thing is I have never shared that with anyone, and so I feel like because of that I do have like a lot of confidence, and it is a confidence boost. But I know that as soon as it goes out into the world and, you know, not you know, like beta reading to start off with, I know it's going to be hard to handle. And with this whole thing, I guess what I'm, you know, the message I'm trying to get across is that there's a lot of pressure to be perfect and a lot of pressure to have your work to a high standard, and when it's not, it's like it's not good enough. That kind of pressure is always going to be there, but, you know, you are in control of your life, you know, you call the shots. So like if you want to relax a bit more, then, you know, you can. If you're in education, there's always going to be like a lot of external pressure. I feel like it's just kind of that thing in the real world as well. It's like wherever you go, there's always going to be that external pressure, because I am that type of person that stresses out about everything. Like I stress a lot, I worry a lot. I feel like I definitely suppress my emotions, and it's not good. Like I don't really, you know, open myself up, and when I do, you know, it is past that boiling point of like bottling things up. I always talk about it when it's too late. I guess in a way, like from this, I guess, you know, maybe I just need to be a bit more open and honest, and not just, you know, with my family and my boyfriend and whatnot, but on here as well. A lot of what I don't show on camera is like me, you know, crying, and, you know, I have those moments like where I have like depressive episodes. Like I feel, it's not just feeling down, but it's also like feeling empty and numb and not feeling anything at all, to the point where you want to feel something but you don't. And that kind of, I don't want that to kind of, you know, span onto self-harm, because that is, you know, a lot more serious to talk about, and I haven't been ready to talk about that for a really long time, and I still don't feel ready. And I think it's just, you know, because there's always that fear of relapsing. I've obviously been clean for, you know, a long time, because I've kind of gone off on a tangent of like what I was wanting to say. Maybe I'm getting a cold, but then I feel quite lightheaded as well, and I've never had that symptom with a cold before, so bad thing. Anyway, maybe that's probably a sign I should probably end this here, because I've been talking for like the last half an hour, and I hope that this actually doesn't end up that long, because I wanted this to be a quick one, and I have now actually finished my coffee as well, so that's another good place to stop, another reason to stop. You know, if there's something that I've talked about in this video that you would like to talk about, then you can leave a comment down in the, you can like leave a comment down below and I will most likely reply. I try to reply to everyone. Sometimes I don't see comments for some reason, and I don't know why, so maybe next time I'll actually just check the comment section of the YouTube studio just in case. You know, how do you even miss comments on your videos? I mean, I don't know, but yeah, if you want to talk about something that I've mentioned in this coffee talk, then do, you know, let me know down in the comments. For now, I'm going to leave this here. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Also, make sure to subscribe down below and ding the bell to be notified every single time I upload. All of my social media links will be linked down in the description for you to check out, along with my new personal blog if you would, you know, if you're interested in checking that out. But otherwise, that is going to be it. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.